All right. Looks like we got Matt. I let Nick in. We're going to have to give it another minute to see if we get anybody else hopping on here. Here we go. Looks like we're getting everybody admitted. Sorry, I'm driving today. I have surgery on Monday. So I had to go today and do stuff at the hospital beforehand. Can everybody hear me okay? Connor, can you hear me good?
Yeah, sorry, I was muted. How are you doing?
Good. You look sharp, man. Where you
Thanks,
going
man.
today?
Honestly, didn't know. I just put this on to look nice. I didn't know
Oh,
what you
that's
guys
awesome. Hey, heck yeah, man. When I got business meetings, I'll be sitting at my house in a suit. My wife's like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "I'm going on Zoom."
It feels nice to dress sharp, can't lie.
Well, you know, Deion Sanders said it the best. Does anybody knows Deion Sanders on the call? Some of you guys might not even know who he is. When I was young, he was a football player. He played for the Dallas Cowboys and a couple other teams. But he also went to Florida State, which is like one of my favorite college football teams.
Let's go,
Deion
Noel.
Sanders. What's Deion Sanders' quote? Does anybody know? No? Okay. Well, Deion Sanders says, if you look good, you're going to feel good. And if you feel good, you're going to play good. And if you play good, you're going to get paid good.
I like it.
So that's something to be said about it. He spoke some wisdom in those words right there. But that was because he was always flashy. When he dressed for football, he always had some extra swag going on, and that was his little thing. But yeah, you look sharp, man. So
appreciate it.
But hey, welcome to the call, everyone. Like I said, I apologize. I'm driving. But for being on Zoom today, this is the best I could do, with my circumstances. I didn't want to miss the call though, and I wanted to spend time with you guys. Specifically to today, I wanted to cover some tips and some tricks and pointers, just some basic advice on how to get through the course and to get your license. And then give you guys an idea of, what are some things to expect next? What are some things you could expect over the next few weeks, and how it should all kind of play out, and walk us through some of that as well. And if you have any questions, you can feel free and, ask those too. So let's get started, guys, with licensing, because most of us right now, that's kind of where we should most of us pretty much be on the licensing situation. So I remember when I got hired into this career, into this industry, I got hired back in 2005. And they told me, I was asking all kinds of questions. I wanted to know everything. Just like right now, you guys should be extra curious, So the boss had to pull me aside, my mentor at the time. Here goes my phone. My mentor at the time pulled me aside, and he was like, "Hey, you have all these questions. That's great. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know. Okay. But one thing is, you need to get your license first." He's like, "Rouse, this is going to be it's a completely waste of my time to teach you anything about this company, about the industry, about the business. Because if you don't got your license, then it's just gonna be a big waste of time. So he's like, so, you know, all the stuff you want to know, you need to focus on two things, he said. You need to focus on two things. He's like, you need to study and pass. So, like, if you guys are writing stuff down, that would be two notes I would write. Like, I'd write study and pass. Number one, number two. And that's all we really got to do. On a side note, just with, you know, note taking in general, you definitely want to get yourself for your career, get yourself a nice notebook that you're going to be able to keep all of your notes in. When I started, I got myself a hardback notebook, and I still have that same hardback notebook to this day. So in 2008, when I sat in my first meeting and I started taking notes, they had millionaires speaking to us. And I don't know where you're from, but where I'm from, I didn't really get to talk to millionaires. You know, that's just wasn't part of my daily routine. You know, I didn't live by them. My neighbors weren't millionaires. Everybody that I knew was not a millionaire. If I wanted to get in front of a millionaire, I wouldn't even know how. That's where I grew up. So when I came here and they bring people in to speak to us, there's people that are millionaires that are speaking to us. So sometimes you'll hear somebody that has like 15 years, 20 years of experience, right? And they'll speak to you and they'll give you 20 years of experience and millions of dollars of information in 20 minutes. You got to be like really zoned in and taking some notes on that stuff. And you definitely don't want to write it on the back of a napkin, right? You got millions of dollars information. I want to pass this along to my kids. You know, I want my time here to add up and to make a real life and for it to be a purpose and to make an impact. So I don't want to just waste time by sitting in meetings and just watching everybody talk like it's a TV show. So I made sure that I almost wasn't highly engaged in everything that I did. And, you know, taking notes, they say note takers are money makers, right? So you want to make sure you got some good notes when you look back at your week, at your month, you know, and stack up a bunch of notebooks. I have notebooks that are full. I have probably 6 or 7 hardback notebooks that are filled from front to back. So just as a side note, I noticed that in the business, people that take notes end up being more successful than those that don't. When you write something down, it's like, I don't even know what the number is. I don't even know what it is. Like 80 times more likely to happen if you have a goal. If you have a goal and you write it down, it's like 80 times more likely to happen. And if you write something down, it sticks to your memory 10 times more than if you just try to memorize it. Writing stuff down makes it stick to you a little bit more. So anyways, just a little side note on that. And here's the cool thing about when you hear people with this company, you're going to hear people from this company that are doing it, and they're millionaires, right? But here's the thing, like, if I wanted to listen to a millionaire speak, I could go on YouTube and I could look up who? Bill Gates, right? But Bill Gates is a millionaire in a whole different industry than my industry. He don't work with my company. So the cool thing is, like, when you go hear most millionaires, you're going to hear millionaires like, I don't know, actors. The Rock is a millionaire. And he could give you some good advice, but he's not someone that's in your industry doing what you're doing and working actually with the same company that you're working for. So that advice that they give you is not 100% as you would say applicable, you know? It's more general millionaire advice. The stuff you're going to get from hearing people from this company, what's exciting is you're going to get to hear them, talk to them, get to know them, get their information. You could call them, email them, DM them. So that's what's nice as well. Personally, my story, it's I've been with the company 14 years now, and or 13 years. I'm sorry. I started in 2008 in July of 2008, and I just hit my 13-year anniversary. I can't even figure out how many millions of dollars I've made from this company. Over 13 years, I probably made about $8 million or so in the last 13 years from this company. My first year I made 100,000. My second year I made 200. My third year I made 500. My fourth year I made 937,000. And that was in 2012. And from that point forward, I made over $1 million a year for the last, I don't know, 8 years or so. So, well over a million, 9 million maybe in the last 13 years from this company. Obviously, you hear me talk a couple things about money. I know that just gets you a little bit excited about the career that you're getting into. That's all. It's just the facts, the reality. I get $22,000 a month before I wake up. All my bills are paid. I have a $3 million house that I don't even pay for. It's already paid for before I wake up. Two swimming pools, a huge indoor pool, huge outdoor pool. It's on a lake. My neighbor's Frank Thomas from the Chicago White Sox. I don't know if you know the big hurt Frank Thomas, but he's Hall of Famer. He's on the Nugenics commercials, him and Doug Flutie. But his daughter sits at the same work table as my son at school. Like my son goes to school with his daughter, same class and everything, Ashley Thomas. So I don't know. I just moved here to Chicago about a year and a half ago. I moved here right around in March of last year. And I lived in Glenview for a while, and then I just ended up moving out to this area over here. But that's from being with the company for 13 years, started from the bottom, from the same place where you guys start, from where everybody works, from everybody. The president of the company and the CEO of this company started out exactly where you're starting out, trying to get their license. Didn't know anything about insurance at all, right? Just knew that there was this amazing opportunity. So side advice I would tell you guys is be really, really coachable to the system, because this system is proven to pump out success. When you try to do it on your own, now you're putting all the pressure on who? On yourself, right? If you do everything the system tells you to do and you do it to the T, cross your T's, dot your I's, follow through, do everything the right way, it always works, right? I remember my football coach telling us one time, he kept telling us, he's like, you're not doing it the right way. That's why it's not working. So then he taught us and taught us and taught us. And when we all did it the right way, guess what happened? We scored a touchdown. It worked. It worked. So it wasn't the coach. It wasn't the school. It wasn't football, right? Football sucks. No, it's not football sucks. Okay. Football's not for me. No, it's not. Football's not for you. You're not doing it the right way. So I'm glad I learned at a young age to be really coachable and to know that if I'm not getting results, it's my fault. The world's not crazy. Everybody out there is not nuts. It's not everybody else. It's something I'm not doing or something I am doing that's wrong. So I always remember my coach like almost like just like yelling at us. He's like, you're not doing it the right way. It's like, but I remember now, like I learned in business that anytime I'm not getting results, it's because I'm not doing it the right way. And I got to go back and I got to figure it out. I got to ask the coach. I got to ask my mentor. I got to go back to the playbook and just make sure that, but I promise you guys that the company and the systems in the industry, it's foolproof. This is the oldest industry in the world. Second oldest industry in the world is the insurance industry. How about that? That like some people like, oh, I'm getting into, I'm going to sell stuff online. Oh yeah. How long selling stuff online been around? Do you know online's probably not even going to be here in 100 years? So how are you going to sell stuff online when online's not even here 100 years? Do you know what's going to be here Insurance. That's right. 1,000 years ago, there was insurance before there was computers. Yep. Before there were airplanes, before there was anything, there was insurance. And guess what's going to be here 1,000 years later? Insurance. Right? So it ain't going nowhere. So we got the greatest industry, the oldest industry, the recession-proof industry. Anytime there's a recession, not only does this industry last, it actually grows. Our company thrives. Some companies, when there's a recession, they just try and survive. This company actually thrives. Go back and look at the research. If you guys pull up the growth chart for American Income Life or for Globe Life Company, Globe Life, and any time that you see the country in a recession, look at the growth numbers for Globe, and you're going to see them up. So that was pretty impressive when I saw that. So you know, you're in a situation where, you know, you don't want to put the pressure on yourself. You want to put your pressure on the system. That was a big quote they told me at the beginning. Put the pressure on the system. Don't put the pressure on yourself. So I always remember that. So, but back to getting the license, you know, I don't have any crazy advice. You know, I don't have a magic, you know, advice that's going to help you pass the test. I don't know the answers to these tests. I wish I could tell you the answer to number 5 is B, you know, I don't know. Okay. So, but I do know that the practice course that we use, the people that run that practice course, they go and take the test all the time, so that when you come and go take your practice exam, it's reflective to what they see on the test. So they have active test takers that are coming back and telling, you know, the company, hey, here's what the test looks like now. Because 5 months ago, the questions were different. They always change them around a little bit. So if you score the final test, if you guys score a 80% on your final review test, that thing's supposed to be like a mock of what the real test looks like. So they say if you score 80% on that twice, you should be good to take your real test. So that's a little thing. Just make sure you pass that practice exam at least twice with 80%. The course itself, you want to get through it as fast as possible. The longer that it takes people to get through the course, the worse the test scores are. So, you know, you don't want to let it drag on, and for a lot of different reasons. You know, one of them would be that if you started the course today and you didn't get through it for like a month, by the time you get to like chapter 12, you're going to forget everything that you learned in chapter 1 because it was just so long, right? So you want to kind of get in the course. I guess you'd say just memorize it, get it all into your head, and just go spit it all back out on the test before it falls out of there. You know, like a sponge. Go and suck all the information in and just get into the test. Take that test as quick as possible and get it all back out on that course before you start to forget things. The glossary, by writing the words down and what they mean, that helps a lot. Make some flashcards, right? On one side of the flashcard, write the name, and then on the back, put the definition. That helps. Just the fact of writing the flashcards helped me, because when you write stuff down, it commits it to memory a lot more. So those are a couple things on the test. Yeah, I don't really got any other, major tips or tricks besides, schedule your test earlier in the day. You don't want it to be scheduled later in the day. Maybe get a little bit of caffeine in you the morning of, just to get your brain going a little bit. Definitely don't go out the night before and party. You kind of want to chill out the night before. You don't want to be cramming. If you could kind of relax a little bit, go for a walk, get your mind off the information, might help a little bit too. So just some test taking tips and stuff like that, to get you guys through the course. After you get through this course, though, what's going to happen next. So you'll get through the course, and you'll schedule your state exam, and you go take your state exam. Once you pass your state exam, you're going to know right then and there. At the end of the test, you kind of click, and it's like you click next, and then you click next, and then it's the moment of truth, and you're going to find out if you passed or not. And when it comes up, if you get a 70%, you pass. So all you got to get is a 70%. Now, what happens, guys, if you get an 89%? You pass. You know what happened though? You studied about 19% too much, because you only need a 70. So if somebody graduates from Harvard, like top of the class, what do they call that? Summa cum laude or something like that? They call it something like that. If you're the top of your class, there's like summa cum laude and then cum laude. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing this stuff right. All right. But what if you graduate at the bottom of your class at Harvard?
You still went to Harvard.
They call you a Harvard grad. So whether you graduated top of your class or bottom of your class, you know what you are? You're a Harvard grad, right? So whether you graduated as the top doctor in your class or the bottom doctor in your class, you know what they call you? You're still a doctor. Right. You're still a doctor. So all you need is a 70%. Don't sweat it. If you don't think that the way that you do on this test has any bearing on how you're going to do in the business. Okay. In fact, if you score 99% on this test, I would be worried for you, because you're probably too smart for your own good. You ever meet people like that where they're too smart? Literally, it's like almost a problem for them. So those are the type of people that could make something simple very complex, right? This business is very simple. It's very simple. It is so simple as this is what I find. This is what I find, and this is why I think I'm okay. Is this why I've done okay? Because if when I went to college, they didn't let me in college because they said I needed to take a pre-class on reading and writing. Like they would you can't come here unless you take a summer course on reading and writing. Just so you know, I wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed. I just want you guys to know that. I barely graduated with a 3.0 from college, like barely got this 3.0. I actually begged a couple of my teachers my senior year to hook me up. I'm telling you, it was, I used my negotiation skills and my will and my sheer, I guess, people skills a little bit to get me up there. Right. But anyways, I just want you to know that because, I came into this business with two things, guys: work ethic and coachability. That's all I brought to the table, man. I wish I had other skills to bring to the table, but that was it, Anybody ever see what's that movie? I know I'm going off topic here, but I'm a movie guy, so sometimes I pull up movie quotes. Napoleon Dynamite. Anybody ever see Napoleon Dynamite? Yeah. When he's talking about his skills, right? He's like, I got nunchuck skills, bow staff skills, computer hacking skills, right? I didn't have none of them skills coming in. I just had work ethic and coachability. I was good. Like if a coach told me to do something, I was pretty darn good at doing it. I don't even know if you call that a skill or not. Doing what you're told skill, I guess, right? But I was pretty good at that. And I was good at just working my ass off, like just selling out, like if I played football in college, I mean, I was football all the way, guys, all the way. I was first one at practice, last one to leave, on the weekends, everybody, I'm trying to figure out more stuff about football. I'm obsessed with it. It's just the way that if I get into something, you're not getting a little bit of me. You're getting all of me, everything I got from everything. And you're probably getting all of me and all my family and everything that we got. We're putting it all into it because I get my family to support me. So when I got into this business, I showed my dad, I said, hey, look at this, man. If we do this right, I'll be making $250,000 and our family's going to be set forever. He's like, no way. I'm like, yeah, this is the opportunity. So then my dad got behind me. My mom got behind me. And then everybody that I knew, I got them behind me to help me in the career, you know? So when I was playing football, my whole family was behind me. My dad was helping me. My mom was helping me. It was a team effort, you know? But I'm the type that goes all in. So I had my work ethic cut out for me. That was one thing I had going for me is I was able to just go. Like there was no 9-to-5 mentality for me. I was just, let's hustle. Like if you owned your own business, if you're a hustler on the streets, you're working all day, all night. There's no like 9-to-5. If you got to drive today and go to Toledo and pick up a package, and then you got to drive to Florida and drop it off for a guy, you're going to get hey, you're going, and it's going to take you might not see your mom for a week, and you got to stay here and you got to figure it out. But I was down to do whatever, whenever, wherever, however, whatever it takes to get the job done. I'm not in a box. They're not going to tell me, like, I'm not going to tell you like, I don't know. I'm only available from 9-to-5, you know, like, so I was just all expendable, you know. I could just, whatever was needed of me to become a millionaire, I was willing to do, period. I was willing to do it. Didn't matter what it was. They could have told me whatever. They could have told me, Tommy, you got to paint the walls pink. I'm like, I don't even know how painting the walls pink is going to make me money. But if that's what you want me to do, I'm going to paint these walls pink better than anybody in this place. Like, that's how coachable I am. And then when I walk in there, I paint the walls pink. He's going to be like, these are nice black walls. You painted these walls black. And I'm like, they look pink to me. He's like, no, they're black. I'm like, coach, if you say they're black, they're black. Like, that's how coachable I am, you know? So that's what helped me in the business, guys. That's what helped me. But you want to know how simple it is, guys? Is I figured this out already, is that the more phone calls that whoever like calls the most people is typically going to talk to the most people. When do you guys think so? Like if I made more calls to you, I'm probably going to talk to more people this week, right? So then I figured if I could talk to whoever talks to the most people is probably going to be able to set the most appointments. They're going to set the most appointments. Because if I talk to more people than you, I'm going to get more appointments on my schedule than you, you know? Well, if I can set more appointments than you, well, I'm probably going to see more people than you this week. And if I see more people than you this week, well, I'm probably, if I have the same presentation you got, because last time I checked, guys, when you come in the door, you're going to get a presentation and training on the script on how to present, you know, it's all, and they gave me the same script they gave you. So if I go give the presentation and you give the presentation, but I just give the presentation to more people than you gave the presentation to, well, who do you think is going to probably end up getting more clients this week? You know, and whoever gets the most clients, obviously, typically earns the most income. That's why I've been top income earner, number one income earner. I've dominated in the business. If you ask anybody, I'm the first ballot Hall of Fame regional director in company history. Nobody's done it bigger, better, or badder than I have done it at the regional director position. I've been on stage 5 times. It's like winning the Super Bowl 5 years in a row, you know? So, the point is I did all that with just work ethic and coachability. You know, when everybody else go home, I found a way to stay an extra hour. And I found out whatever the top guy was doing, and I was competing with him, and I found out, okay, what time's he getting into the office? 8 o'clock? All right, I'll be there at 7. And then I'd sit at the office and I'd be watching. I mean, find out, all right, what time's the top person in this agency? What time are they leaving? And I'd make sure that I stayed at least an extra hour after them. That's how Gio's been from day one. If you know Gio Vaca, if you got to meet him yet, he is our top MGA in our agency right now. Last year we started in March. So last year we just were putting our desks together in March, painting the walls in March. Like we didn't even have a TV hung up in the office yet. So last year was like pretty much just building, laying a foundation, getting the walls painted and stuff. That was last year. So Gio worked last year for about 8 months, laying a foundation. After 8 months of building, this year, he's going to make over $400,000. In his first full year in the city of Chicago, our agency's first full year started from scratch. That's what he's been able to build and get set up. And what's cool is he gets these extra bonuses. He got a $41,000 bonus last month from the company in July for the quarter. He gets a quarterly bonus. So it was a quarterly bonus for the second quarter of 2021. Can you guys see me? No? Make some noise if you can hear me.
We can hear you, but
We can hear you.
can't see.
All right, well, we're going to have to go sound for the last 3 minutes. My phone said it's getting too hot and it needs to cool down. So I don't know what that means, but that's what we're going to have to do. So anyways, yeah, I was just telling you guys about Gio and that. So that, his quarterly bonus for the second quarter of this year was like $41,000. It was pretty awesome to see him get that. But yeah, so for you guys now, you're going to learn that script. You're going to get the script and you're going to pass your test. First of all, let's say we pass our test today. What happens next? Pass our test. Then what? Then we got to apply for our license. So what'll happen is you send your test scores and your application to the state, and then they'll issue you your state license. Okay. That will take anywhere from a week to 2 weeks from the date when you pass your test. So if you pass your test today, I would say probably 1 or 2 Fridays from now, you'll definitely have your license in hand. When you get your license in hand, that's when you're able to start training class.
So, just a quick question. This is Nick in Wisconsin. Wisconsin requires fingerprints then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mhm.
that what kind of timeline does that make? A little extra timeline as far as
You know what? I don't know if it makes any more time for it or not. It might add an extra. It probably does add an extra step. But as far as time, I don't think it shouldn't be any longer than a week or 2 weeks, regardless if you have to get fingerprints or not. Because from Pennsylvania, we had to get fingerprints, and it still was a week or 2 weeks. So, but that's a good call. Yes, some states do require fingerprints, and don't forget to, obviously get those done.
Mr. Brandon, do you actually kind of off of what Nick just said, if we already have our fingerprints for like concealed carry or something, not a criminal thing, if we already have that in the system, do you know if we have to re-get that stuff, or is that something we'd ask them?
You know what? You might have to ask them, but I think you do have to still get them because they want them from them, from like there.
Okay, great, thank you.
So, good question though. Good question. Yeah. Any other questions on that stuff, guys? Okay. Here. So after you go ahead and send your test scores up there and all that, you're gonna wait about a week or 2, and your license should come in the mail. And when your license comes in the mail, you're official and you're able to start training. So the only thing you need to start training is you need to make sure you have your script down as well. So you'll have about a week or two to study and memorize that thing while they process your license. Then you come into training class. Training is typically 2 weeks of training class. Some people will train for 2 or 3 weeks until they get everything down. Once they have everything down, they're able to get out on their own and start seeing clients, without a manager. So you'll be with a manager and with a trainer for your first 2 or 3 weeks until you're able to start seeing clients. Once you're able to start seeing clients, now all we want to do from that point is get you to 100 presentations so you can start becoming 100% comfortable and your career can start. So until you give 100 presentations, your career does not start. You're still in like preseason mode. You know what I mean? So you want to get focused and zoned in on knocking out 100 presentations. So that's everything I wanted to go over with you guys. Sorry I went over a couple minutes, 5-10 minutes extra. But it was good catching up with you guys and getting on here on a Friday. Does anybody have any other questions before we hop off here?
I'm good.
I don't think so. I believe everything was pretty straightforward.
Oh, there we go. Cool. Back on again. All right, guys. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Hop on the agency meeting on Monday. We're kicking off our September sickness, and it's going to be awesome. So definitely get the link for Monday at 11 o'clock so you can hop on the meeting. I'll be in surgery. I won't be there, but it'll be a good meeting for sure.
All right.
All right. Have a great one, guys.
All right. Good luck with the surgery. Take care.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Yeah, good luck with the surgery.
Thank you.